creature feature from Thailand. I do believe that was originally in another language and dubbed, probably Taiwanese, but yeah, you have a animal attraction park trying to be shut down, or that is, someone is trying to shut down for money reasons because they want the land. And then you have a big nasty crocodile that is going around eating people. And yeah, apparently solving the crocodile saves the park or something like that. It's interesting. Bad CGI. I mean, reasonable for the budget level, but yeah, look, this is kind of a Jaws ripoff. You've got an evil businessman.
This is my other channel.
Businessman isn't on the side of the monster in this, as opposed to like Jaws, like, no, there's no monster. We need to make money. This one is like, there's an evil monster. Maybe we can make some money. Use it to get our gains, as opposed to like actually capturing it as an attraction and like having people look at it. But that's kind of neither here nor there. Yeah. This movie is a lot of bad CGI. There are a few animal acts that you may not be like 100% with. No animal abuse that is directly related to the film. But there are animals playing sports and things, and you might like disagree with that in the modern age. If you're a bleeding heart liberal, you probably dislike this movie. But what you do have is chicks in bikinis, which, I mean, you don't see anything particularly graphic, but you see hot chicks in bikinis. There's that. I mean, yeah, it's something I enjoy, not something I really like. Oh my god, you got to see that. Something I enjoy. But yeah, Croc is kind of just there. It is a lower middle of the watchlist kind of film. I mean, yeah, okay, you've got a reasonable storyline, some ranging from okay to abysmal acting, and nothing particularly interesting coming through in this particular film. There are some like there is a scene where I do believe the guy actually sticks his head in the mouth of a crocodile, and I mean, it's like okay, you did it. It's a real thing people do. Whether you think that's impressive or not, whether you think people should do that or not, it's a thing that's in the movie, and it's a thing that impresses people. I'm not one of them, because that sounded like, okay, you're doing something
different
stupid.
And so
you shouldn't
new.
stick your head in that animal's mouth. It's like, there are people that have to stick their head in an elephant's ass to do something. I wouldn't do that personally, but I understand that people do it. I don't consider it like, oh my god, you're so awesome. You crawled upside a elephant's asshole. And, it's like, I'm not that kind of person. Animal acts don't necessarily impress me, so there's that. So yeah, look, Croc, it's an okay for what it is kind of a film. It's not weird enough to be fans of the genre only, and it's not bad enough to be bottom of the watch list, but I mean, it's somewhere in the lower middle. It's just one of those films that it depends on how much you care about animal acts and how much you think
Is nobody talking here?
Animals are legal or ethical. So yeah, it's one of those concepts. If you don't care for that kind of stuff, I gotta care for this film. Anyway, just my opinion. Let me hear yours. Comments below.
Salve.
Ladies, gentlemen, and human type persons, I am Sergeant Duck, and I am tasking you with commenting on this video. You should also like and subscribe if you haven't already. Share this with your friends and make a better, more disciplined world for you and for me. Dismissed.
For 100 years, ProLag has stood shoulder to shoulder with independent agents to protect.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that often happens to me on this channel is people say, "I didn't know you had another channel." So, in order to get past the first few minutes of these live streams, in which, generally speaking, there's no traffic, I will go out there and I will play a video from my other channel. Rosebud Orel Lennox. Hi, I Rosebud. Hi, Enzugu G1G. Adam, Mr. Leland. Hello. K-pop Demon Hunters Fan 101. Hey. I do not understand why there's so much love for K-pop Demon Hunters. I mean, who eats ramen and sushi in the same meal? Feels so weird to me. Adam, I believe K-pop is a name. It's ironic. Okay. I don't know, dude. I mean, like, I thought it was a fun movie. I really liked the visuals, but, I didn't think, oh my God, this is what we need right now. And I'm like, I think I gave it a middle of the watch list review, and people are like, what are you talking about? This film is awesome. And I has a kitty. No, you're supposed to snuggle now. Yeah. Yes, even the snuggly kitty. Even the snug. Why are you not being a snuggly kitty? No. No. Ah, not on the keyboard. Not on the keyboard. Yeah, these computers are glacially slow. Um, so it takes a few minutes. K-pop Demon, my birthday is tomorrow. Is that a face or is that boobies? Because Zad the Gamer Z, hi. Buffalo Brando, cardboard. What? What's cardboard? Adam, happy birthday, K-pop. Mine is Wednesday. Why do we celebrate getting old? I think it just means that you can't be young anymore. Guys, this is the closest thing I have to a day off. I only worked 8 hours a day. Fred Chambers, I'm not feeling my best. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Fred. Me either. I feel terrible. Buffalo Brando, I got rear-ended on my way to work the other day. Oh, I hate that. Are you suing? Because that's a thing people do now. They sue for no good reason. Buffalo Brando, thank God I wasn't in my car. Well, that could work either way. Adam, that's what she said. No, she said, hey, Beth, I got rear-ended today. Oh, and I got in a car accident. Fred Chambers, if you are new to the channel, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your support. Yes. You guys remember Sim City when it would say, industry needs seaport? K-pop Demon Hunters 101, name my cat. I don't know what your cat looks like. I can't name it. Katsra, I love you, Richard Knight. Adam, name your cat Simon. Nobody loves Richard as much as me. Oh, dude. There's a guy that tracked down my address and bought me like a bunch of weird stuff. And then just sent it to me. It's like, and you go, are you gay? He's like, no, I'm not gay. I'm married. Look, here's my wife. I'm like, that doesn't mean you're not gay, dude. And he being, of the more conservative side, it's even more likely. Adam, Richard, no, I'm not bi. I am definitely into chicks exclusively. Unless you count Patrick Stewart. I think I'd probably do him. But I mean, if you're not willing to do Patrick Stewart, something's wrong with you. I mean, at least, like Star Trek Next Generation Patrick Stewart. Like, he got it on with every chick in that cast. Prim and proper actor, really drinks Earl Grey tea. Shakespearean trained. But I mean, it's like, there being the thing is that they were always trying to make Troy the hot one. No, Crusher was the hot one. Like, I grant, she was a little older, but that didn't make her not the hot one. Like, no, Troy was the slutty one. She's the one that gets killed in the first act of the horror movie. K-pop Demon Hunters fan. I'm 7. You're not allowed to be here without parental permission if you're 7, right? I mean, this was not made for kids. Soda poppin', Ritalin, Mary Jane to keep me insane. Don't believe in me. I don't care if you don't. I don't care if you don't. I don't care if you don't care. Fred Chambers, that's how easy it is to find your channel. What? Adam, Richard talks about a range of mature topics. Adam, if you want me to talk about something juvenile, you can always ask. I'm open to suggest. Look, right now, like the best video doing the best, making me the most money on Random Street Theater is my Family Guy review. I don't know why. It's just an episode of Family Guy, and people are going, "Yes, I want to know what your opinion on Family Guy is," which makes me ask, maybe I should start reviewing The Simpsons. Buffalo Brando, the drummer from Def Leppard. The drummer from Def Leppard only has one arm. Yes. That is awesome that he has one arm and yet, he's a great drummer. But I honestly don't think I'm the biggest fan of Def Leppard. I couldn't name any of their songs, but I've probably heard them. I'm just curious about one thing here. I am actually checking if I have any held comments on this channel. Which I mean, I tend to. People say rude things to me. Fred Chambers, have you seen any new movies lately? Yes. I saw Primate. I saw Fire and Ash. I'm currently working my way through the last season of Stranger Things. Okay. So, Sean Elku, you are not a food blogger. You are an alcoholic. Food blogging is just an excuse you give yourself to get drunk. If booze doesn't kill you, it will be all the sugar you consume. Judging by your obesity, you have to be diabetic. Try blogging health food for diabetes. Start diet as well. And then Dizderps says, and you're an asshole. Oh, Dizderps, you are so right. This man is an asshole. Adam, Richard, you are a star. No, I'm not. Use the fact that you are in Hollywood to get your face on voice out there. Fred Chambers, I've seemed to have lost my interest in movies since I left my wife. How long ago was that? Mike, what up, bro? Not much, bro. K-pop Demon Hunters 101. I'm still here. You never, never know. Never, never know my pain. Torn do torn, you forgot to read mine. Mike, you ever seen the movie Sisu? No, I have not. I downloaded it, I think. But I never watched it. And there's a sequel too. Oh no, nothing lasts forever. Not even cold November rain. Don't you know you're gonna need some time on your own? Bingo Healer is in the house. What's up, Bingo? And Bingo, what's her name? Bingo. So Bingo says good day. Possible not the law. Thoughts on tea, Richard? What do you mean thoughts on tea? Iced tea right here. I'm a diabetic, so I have to drink 0 calorie things. Uh, I think Torn Editom is going sane. Bingo Healer, been a while. Well, it's been a while since I could hold my head up high. And it's been a while since I first saw you. My computer is going nuts. Time takes you by the wrist, directs you where to go. Tattoos and memories and faith and a while. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. Something unpredictable that in the end is right. I hope you have the time of your life. Bingo Healer, Bluey joke. Bandit Healer reminds me of Mexican beans. They both come in chili. Torn. There's are all things that you need to think about on a daily. K-pop Demon Hunters fan 101. My friend said she can never be with me anymore, but she couldn't get enough sleep today. Um, Fred Chambers, been a while since I've been on the show, but I get back into it. Thank you for your prayers. Okay, sweetheart, you fat old kitty. What did you do to my computer? It appears that you've pressed the back button. Bingo. Is that a wild flame on your screen? It's a skyrocket. You know, it's crazy. Like, so many people I know were alive when this picture was taken. And now, like there were three people, a mother, a father, and a son, who were with me when I took this picture, and they are all dead. This picture is 9 years old, so I mean, I guess. But it's like, Jesus. K-pop Demon Hunters fan, love your cat. You love Eva? Well, she's a good cat. Not very cuddly though. You could be more cuddly, Eva. Uh, Bingo Healer, I used to see skyrockets when I got my first kiss. Cool. Adam, I mean it, Richard. You have a unique style. You could play a security guard in a blockbuster film. Who couldn't play a security guard in a blockbuster film, though? I mean, dude, BM, how did they die? That's classified. Uh, hello, Bingo, K-pop Demon Hunters, said hi. Simons J, hey Richard, I love your channel. How many cats do you have? I have no idea. I mean, I just saw outside my house, I think it's Leo's father, because I mistook him for Leo, and he is a forest cat. Okay? Big, bushy old cat. And he was getting into an argument with Star, and I go, hey, Leo, Star, knock it off. And like, you're not Leo, because Leo always comes up to me. Bingo Healer, hey, I'm Blue. I'm sorry to hear that. VM, I apologize, Richard. I didn't mean to prod. How your day been? Bingo, Giger. Oh. It's been, well, on the one hand, it really looks like my diabetes is reversing, because before I became a diabetic, I could eat before work, be fine for an 8-hour shift, and then eat after work. I did that today. But the thing there being is, for most of the 8-hour shift, I was barely conscious, which is a bad thing. And I mean, it's like, you're just sitting there going, oh, I feel so terrible. And then, like, by the end of my shift, my stomach had tightened up, and my skin was all oily, which is a sign that I got some real rest. But yeah. Simon J, man, it sounds like the cats could have their own channel. Yeah, I mean, again, dude, if I had my house remodeled, I could probably take a lot of pictures and videos of my cats. But the place is just a dump. Simon, it would be like Jersey Shore. Yeah. Eva here's a slut. K-pop Demon Hunters fan, have you ever heard about Dune? No? Amigo Healer, today I started loving you again. VM. Oh, that sounds like great progress. Do you have less frequent need to urinate now as well? Yeah, I do. The thing is, VM, when I first became a diabetic, I didn't know it. And I kept having these terrible thirst nightmares. I'd wake up and my mouth felt like leather, and I was constantly having to drink more water, and I was constantly having to urinate. And, I was always ravenous, which apparently are symptoms of diabetes. And I slept a lot. Okay. Mind you, I became a diabetic when I was hit by a car. Okay, so I was badly injured. So it's like, yeah, I don't have to urinate nearly as much, but I think I'm down to like once every 30 minutes, which is not good, at least when I'm awake. And it's just a matter of the body, because the pancreas is. It's not that I don't produce insulin, or I'm insulin resistant. I think it could be that the pancreas itself is what's been injured, and if the pancreas itself can heal, then I will no longer be diabetic. Mike, what do you do tonight? Work. Bingo Healer. Sorry, I've been missing lives time difference. I'm proud to be an Okie from Muskogee. Yeah. Hey, Bingo, did you see We Bury the Dead? I mean, it's set in Tasmania. Shamrock Freddy said hi. Bingo, sing me back home. Hmm? West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country road. K-pop Demon Hunter fan said hi. Yeah, guys, just so that we're all on the same page. I now work an 80-hour work week. Okay, and that's my base line. I was at 64, and now my baseline is 80, which with a possibility of another 16 hours of overtime per week. So I am flat out. I can't take this anymore. I'm not doing as many lives. I'm not making as many videos. It's really hard for me. Chattabilly, Mr. Family, are you still single? I'm asking for a friend. Oh well, your friend really couldn't take that much. I mean, just I'm a lot to handle, like literally. Big O Healer, nobody can stop me singing Merle Hoggard song, but Mama tried. Uh, Summons, oh no, Richard. My wife and I love your videos. Yeah, dude, I mean, to be fair, I have one video posting every day from now until the end of the month. But I mean, guys, like I only have so much energy. I only have so much time. I mean, like I say, at peak efficiency, I'm generally posting 3 shorts a day, and 3 shorts a day, and one long form video. On Random Street Theater, it's 2 long form videos and 3 shorts a day. But it's just the very basic fact of that's a lot of work. I mean, particularly, I suffer from the depression. It's really hard for me to regulate sometimes. Oh. K-pop demon, my mom is coming back tomorrow to pick me up from the hospital. So, why are you in the hospital, K-pop? Jim H, are you much of a drinker? Well, I haven't had a drink in 2 weeks. Uh, Today will be my last opportunity to drink until maybe Wednesday. And what will most likely happen on Wednesday is I will go home, I will fall asleep, and I will not wait, and I will wake up too late to be drinking because it has to be 8 hours of drinking or 8 hours I stop drinking before I go to work. So, like if I'm going to work at 9, my last drink has to be at 1. Simon's only when I've got it in stock, Almighty. When you've had your fill of drinking, your hands are so. Your hands are mine to hold, and you've gotta keep it strong. Move along like I know you do. Even when all hope is gone. Bingo healer. My aunt doesn't drink as much as she used to. Now she just spills most of it. Mm. Simmons, I have got an idea. Really? Bingo healer. My aunt lost all her luggage at the airport. The cork fell out. Chad Bailey. What's gas price in Cali? Around $5 a gallon. Simmons, you should do a puppet show series. Change things up a bit and have fun. Uh, I used to know a girl whose husband made puppets. And I don't know if I could get a hold of her now. I think she retracted from social media and had emotional problems. So, which is sad because she's a really sweet girl. But I would do a puppet show. I could certainly do the voices. Chat. OMG, it's around 250 southeast. Yeah, well, it's California. Everything's expensive here. Bingo healer 125. He's talking about the price of gas. $2.50. Bingo. Simmons, dude, I think a puppet show would be sick. I think you'd kill it. Yeah. I'd kill that so hard I'd be arrested. Bingo. Okay, we say petrol. Petrol. Yeah, the price of petrol in California is rather high. Bingo. It's yes. In America, I put the groceries in my trunk. In Australia, I tucked them away in my bonnet. And so, for some reason, I've got an Irish accent, even though I'm in Australia. Oh. Oh, that's right. Boot. I tucked them away in my boot. And the bonnet covers the engine as opposed to the hood. Yeah, we used to have full service gas here in California back in the day where, you'd pay more per gallon, but the dude would check your fluids. I think that's gone the way of the West, but still, though, why would you call the trunk of the car the boot? But then why would you call a torch a flashlight? Have you ever thought about, what weird name is flashlight? Before flashlights, we had lanterns, and a torch was a simpler device for creating light. And when you look, a flashlight looks more like an old torch than it does a lantern, so I guess. Possibly not the law. Bonnet's the front lad. Okay, you do know that there are cars that have the engine in back. So if like I had a Volkswagen Beetle, the boot would be in the front. Chad Bailey, does Mr. Fabulous know what they call a cigarette in England? Lamo. Well, they call it a fag. In England, they take a fag and they put it in their mouth and they light it up. Interesting etymology for you. Fag actually coming from faggot. Originally meant kindling. And what it was you had particularly elderly women whose husband had passed away, who made a living for themselves by collecting kindling because it was light, although awkward. And, these persons being a charity case, they would come to your village with these bundles of sticks that were hard to handle. And you'd feel terrible for them because they were elderly and they were poor and they were often half-starved. And the bundles eventually began referred to as faggots. Okay. So over time, the person selling the bundles, the faggot person or the faggot seller, also began referred to as a faggot. So the term faggot, in referring to slang for homosexual, means a difficult person, not necessarily a homosexual. So whereas, you might have somebody who's gay, just being gay apparently does not make one a faggot. Being gay and difficult would make one a faggot. K-pop Demon Hunters, my name is Scarlet Ann. What a pretty name. Bingo Healer, you could call the Walking Dead zombies, here we call them alcoholics. In Mother Russia, we call alcoholics people. There are these guys and they're sitting at a bus stop, right, and it's snowing. And they're all going to work, they're all going to the same place, quite frankly. And they do this every morning. So there's this one guy, he's Russian, his name is Oleg. And he's just sitting there in the snow like nothing, He doesn't even have a full jacket on. He's got his jacket draped over his shoulder. And they go, Oleg, how do you deal with this? And Oleg goes, in Russia we have saying, drink vodka. And they go, what, you mean when it's cold? And Oleg goes, no, when there is vodka. It's always cold. I'm from Siberia. This is middle of summer for us. Bingo. Cigarettes are called smokes. Yeah, that's a common name for them. Simmons. Were the cigarettes gay though? No, they're called fags because you can use them to light things. As opposed to a cigar, which would not be a fag because of its size. Bingo Healer. Gay people in Australia are called donut munchers. Well, that seems oddly specific. Or tail gunners. Yeah. So, the flu is going around here in America. And there were 3 guys. They just got into work. And they all had the flu yesterday, so they were surprised to see each other. And the first guy is Irish. And, they go, well, wow, you got out of bed this morning? And, he goes, oh, yes, my wife gave me an Irish flu shot. I was right as rain. What's an Irish flu shot? Well, it's hot whiskey with lemon and cloves. Fix you right up. And then the next guy, he's Russian. I said, you got out of bread? I mean, you're You're practically asleep all day. He goes, the wife gave me a Russian flu shot. What's a Russian flu shot? Wife took cork out of vodka bottle and handed it to me. He took two of them, but I got out of bed. And the third guy, he's Mexican. And he says, yeah, my mom gave me a Mexican flu shot, all right. And they go, well, what's that? Does it have tequila in it? And he goes, no. She took a shot at me with her chunga, called me a little puto, and told me to get the fuck out of bed. And for those of you who are wondering, every Mexican I've told that joke to laughed the hell out of it. They thought it was hella funny. Well, okay, so there's this one guy at my work who didn't laugh. Like, you could tell he thought it was funny, but he's just smiled, and I was like, okay, so not that great. And apparently, he just doesn't laugh for shit. You know, you would think this computer, always running at 99% of capacity, would die. Bingo Healer, is Neal an Irish name? Yes, it is. It is one of the most famous Irish names. Neal comes from O'Neill, which comes from Nile of the Nine Hostages. It means son of Nile. So the O'Neills, the McNeils, and then the Neils just dropped the O or Mick. And Nile of the Nine Hostages was a prehistoric Irish king who's regarded as the first king to bring peace to Ireland. Although I have been told that my version of the name Neil is German. So you have to say it like you're angry. It's Neil! But no, my family immigrated to the United States on my father's side some time ago. They were part of the first Mormon settlers of Salt Lake City, Utah. And there actually is an enormous Neal family gathering like every 5 or so years. Bingo Healer, in Australia, a footballer got pulled off at halftime. He promised me not to tell. What? How would you go back? How would you go back if you didn't shower afterwards? Memory the Fisherman. Hi, everyone. What's up, Memory? Wonder how El Pistafo is doing. I haven't seen him in a while. And Phil, I mean, what happened to Phil? Not answering my emails, not talking to me on Facebook. I mean, I grant, with the 80-hour work week, I'm not doing a lot of talking to anybody on Facebook at the moment, but, seriously. Here's another question for a lot of you. Have you ever seen those toasters that are like really long? They're for toasting shepherd's bread. I've been thinking of getting one. I mean, because I eat shepherd's bread. Bingo Healer, is El Pistafo a Mexican name? I believe El Pasofa would be considered Spanglish. So it's meant to be to sound Mexican, but it's not. Just like Bedrosian is often considered a false Jewish name because it's not Jewish. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like there's a saying, illegitimanus non carborundum. It's what's referred to as a false Latin saying because illegitus non is, I believe, is Latin. Carborundum is a substance that's used for polishing. And the meaning of illegitimanus non carborundum is don't let the bastards grind you down. Memory of the Fisherman, I never heard of shepherd's bread. You've probably just never noticed it. It tends to be rounder bread as opposed to a loaf bread, and the slices thereof are much longer. Chad Bailey, Rosie O'Donnell is Irish. Lol. Yes, that would be assumed. Bingo Healer, my aunt's first word. Burp. Yeah, my stepmother's first word was alimony. All right, guys, we're winding down. I mean, nobody seems to be talking, and I don't know what to do with dead air in these things, you know. Chad Bailey, evil sister. Yes. Somehow my sister is both the devil and Cthulhu. Bingo Healer, in case you haven't worked out from the joke, my aunt likes to drink. Yeah, we noticed. She's the kind of person that goes to the liquor store and they say, call the busboy. You know, interesting thing is that people often make rude comments on my videos about me being an alcoholic. You do know that I am. Many of my ancestors came from cultures where beer was not considered alcoholic. I mean, I just picked up some Arizona, hard Arizona, and it's like, yeah, it's only 5% alcohol. In Russia, that's soda pop. But they had a watermelon flavor, and I love watermelon flavors. Bingo Heater, beer was invented in ancient Egypt. It's entirely possible that the first crops ever cultivated by humankind were cultivated for beer. Although there are two definitions of beer. One is a malted beverage involving barley and hops, and the other one is a mild alcohol. So, like in Egypt, they actually had a pomegranate beer. Okay, and what distinguished it from a wine, I believe, is aging. But it was a mildly alcoholic beer. Memory of the Fisherman. You tried not you dad's root beer? It's hard root beer. I believe I have. It was at the store. I mean, I go to a discount market, and that's where I buy most of my booze because they always have something different. I mean, it's like you go there, and like for example, this Arizona stuff, they had like 2 boxes of it, so I could buy it or I could not. When I go there next time, it's likely not going to be there. I mean, there are like beers where I'm always happy to see, like Red Hook Rye or any kind of Red Hook. If I were a like if I were a kind of person that had parties with my friends, I would say that the beer to have would be Red Hook. Okay, Red Hook is my favorite beer. I think I have only tried two different kinds of Red Hook, and most of the Red Hook I've purchased, I've actually given away to friends. Oh. Only type of beer I don't like is IPAs. Yeah, India Pale Ale tends to be on the bitter side, and the reason is that its stronger alcohol content, comes with that flavor. Bingo Eater, my aunt had a bad back. They rubbed her back with alcohol, and she almost broke her neck trying to lick it off. Mm, so do you think your aunt could drink Wolverine under the table? I was at the store the other was yeah, I was at the store yesterday, I think, and somebody had a big old bottle of Jim Beam. I'm like, I don't even remember it coming in bottles like that. Chad Bailey, today beer carbonated to get bubbles. Years ago, before bottle, and we had beer yeast, I believe, to batch bottle and would ferment inside capped bottles. The open bottle gets the carbon bubble effect. Okay. Bingo Eater, I suggest she might have a drinking problem. She agreed. The pub was shut. Have you ever seen the tampon flask? They make a flask that goes in it's in a fake tampon container, so that when you're getting searched, people don't mess with it. I thought that was health hairy ass. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so we are at the hour, and this stream it's doing okay, but it's not terribly lit. I do have things to do, so I will check you guys later. I'm Richard.